Hi, I'm Nyesha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
Good morning. Welcome everyone to the challenge. We're here with Abdul, the founder of My People Clinical Services and the Dream Chaser Network. And I know I said it wrong, and I apologize. I got so much going on. But anyways, it's not even about what I say or what I think. It's always about the guests. And we bring people on that are doing stuff in the community. One of the things I like about Hartford, it's like a jewel because we're surrounded by a couple of major cities, but in this city, man, we have some people doing some dynamic things. And I always say there are those that say and those that do. And Abdul is one of those brothers that's actually doing it, and he's impacting our youth and our adults' lives in the community of Hartford. And we're going to get right into the work that he's doing today, which is important for people in the community, but it's important to know because we need to, as a community, support our brothers and sisters that are doing the work out here. So Abdul, how you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
All right, and now I know you mentioned about you guys are having an event tomorrow. Mm-hmm. What is the event that you're having tomorrow?
So tomorrow I'm going to do the Dream Chasers workshop. Mm-hmm. It's basically like a 3-hour workshop where we go through the dream chasing process. We talk about the 12 for 12. We talk about basically how to make your dreams become reality. We give them a formula so when they walk out of there, they can be able to make their dreams become real.
So when you talk to people that on the way in, because everybody has stuff that they want to do. So is that transformation taken right there, or is it that people have a thought but they don't know how to get to where they need to go?
Well, yeah, a lot of people have ideas of what their dreams are, what they want to do. What we do is give them a process to be able to do it. So it's not like they're not going to walk out of the workshop and be able to say, all right, well, tomorrow I'm going to make all these dreams I wrote down happen.
Right.
But over the next year, they should be able to say, well, I was here, mm-hmm. and then where I wasn't doing any of the dreams, and now I'm at a whole different point. I mean, I've had people that have gone through the workshop before that are like kind of totally transformed their lives. They made things happen in their lives that weren't happening because they started really pursuing their dreams actively and making it happen. So
right, and I know that some of that stuff is familiar to myself because I was talking to a friend wanting to do some stuff, and he kept on telling me, if you don't take action, then it's really just a thought in your brain.
That's
right.
But
hearing that from him really allowed me to, when I had my own business, get started in my own business, and literally saying stuff like, you got to find a place,
mm-hmm.
Like where you're going to have your business at.
Right.
And it kind of made it real. And I believe that everything starts with a dream.
Yes.
So who goes to your workshop?
It's open. I mean, probably tomorrow we'll have about 10 to 12 adults that'll be there. I've done the workshop in schools, though. I go around. I go to different places. I go anywhere where somebody wants me to come in and talk about dreams. I mean, so if you have an organization where you have a group of young leaders or a group of young knuckleheads, I'll come in there and do it with them. But one of the things I think is most important is that the adults, a lot of times, I ask a kid, what is your dream? They'll tell me, well, my dream is I want to be a doctor. Mm-hmm. Then I ask the parent, what is your dream? And the parent will say, well, I don't know.
Right.
They'll say, oh, my dream is for him to be a doctor.
Right.
And I said, well, what about your dream? Like, what about for you? And so it's like, how do you expect your child to dream? How do you expect your child to have these wonderful ideas in their mind that they want if you don't have any?
Right.
So one of the things that I recognize is that we have to get our parents, our teachers, anybody that's dealing with our kids needs to have dreams, not just for the kids, but for themselves. Right. They need to show the kids that it's possible. You know, what starts happening, you know, very shortly after about 3rd grade, kids, they dream less and less. So if I go talk to a kindergarten, they'll tell me some bizarre stuff. I want to ride on the back of a unicorn. I want to be a princess. I want to be, I want to ride my big wheel off of a cliff. Right. This is a little kid. The minute you get to 3rd grade, they only tell me jobs. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a veterinarian. A lot of the African-American boys, I want to be a basketball player. I want to be a football player. Oh, you want to be a basketball player? What position you want to play? They never played on the team. Right. Oh, okay, so, all right, let's say you make it to the NBA. So what are you going to do after you finish up in the league? Oh, I'm going to go to the NFL. I said, oh, well, that's interesting. Well, you know, I'm not one to kill a dream, but I've never heard of anybody doing a whole career in basketball and then leaving that and going to go play football. Right. But it's because nobody sits and talks to them about dreams. They don't even try to figure it out. Then sometimes the kids will say, well, you know what, I'm gonna be an anchor after it. And I say, yeah, that's a good idea. They have to know that there's a process for everything. Right. You know, and that, you know, you're out of everybody that makes it to the NBA, there's probably 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 that don't. Not to say you don't keep trying to go for it, but it's just to say, what else do you want? Like, I have a list of dreams that's probably like, right now, probably 100 dreams long. Right. And so there's all types of things that I want to do. Some of them are career oriented. Some of them are personal. Some of them are just adventures I want to go on, places I want to go see, things I want to experience. A lot of people, they just settle in for this life. Oh, I'm just going to just go to work, go home, eat, sleep. Maybe I'll go to the Big E this weekend. Right. What kind of life is that? Right. And so I'm just saying, what I try to do is make people think about their life differently. And I'm not telling them it's easy. Right. You know, when you chase dreams, it's not easy. Sometimes it's going to be hard. Sometimes you're going to have to save money for a long time to make something happen. But it's something that you want, so why don't you get it? Right. I feel like that's important.
Right. You know, and when I'm living a dream now, me and a couple of friends, we're going to every baseball stadium in the United States.
That's awesome.
So we got to, I think we're at like 21 that last counted. So we got about 10 left, 9 left. I think it's 30. So that's the dream that I had. And what's interesting is that when I mentioned it to my friend, he was like, you know, I never thought about that. But yeah, you know, because we all love the sport. You know, it's not big in the African American community, but growing up, that's what we did. And we didn't have all this fancy stuff, so we played baseball all day. So I'm a big fan of baseball. But also, you have a truck called Ice Cream for a Dream. And I don't know if our viewers know what that is. I didn't know what it was until I knew what it was. You know, but then when I mentioned it to some people, what's interesting is a lot of people knew what it was. You know, even my fiance, her nephew knew. He was like, oh, I know that truck. So what is Ice Cream for a Dream?
Well, Ice Cream for a Dream is it's an event that I came up with last summer. So last summer, me and my team, my Dream Support team, were talking about, you know, what we're going to do with the Dream Support Network. And I was like, you know what we should do? We should get us an ice cream truck, and we should go out and give out free ice cream for dreams. And it was kind of like one of those, came in my mind, I said it, and we kind of laughed it off. Then I started thinking about it, like, yo, that would be fun. So I said, okay, we're going to get us an ice cream truck. So we rented an ice cream truck last summer, and we went around all over Hartford, where, you know, everybody says nothing to do in Hartford. There's always something to do in Hartford. Absolutely. We went to 5 humongous events. We gave out over 1,000 ice cream last August 26th. So from there, few people had heard about it, so then they asked me to come to their school. So I was going, no ice cream truck, into the school. Then in January, I said, you know, I need my own ice cream truck. So I bought an ice cream truck. I did an Indiegogo campaign. A lot of people supported it. Got about
what's the Indiegogo?
Indiegogo's kind of like Kickstarter, where it's basically crowdfunding, where people could donate $10, $5, whatever, to help you do something you're trying to make happen. So I came up with a campaign. I raised like $1,300. My ice cream truck was like $3,000, but I got the truck. We wrapped it. We fixed it up, and then May 1st. We started our tour. So from May 1st up until now, we've probably going to about 35, 40 different schools or events. And basically what we do is we go out to the event and we say, "What is your dream?" And people tell us their dream. They give us ice cream. Now, usually, if I go to a school or they have a microphone, I'll give a talk first so we can kind of frame it for people, because
Right.
if you just ask people what their dream is, a lot of times they don't know.
Right.
So, but it's really fun. We hear all types of dreams. I've had to learn how to say "What is your dream" in Spanish. Call es tu sueño, so that, because a lot of times people don't speak English, but what I hope is that when they walk away, at least they're like thinking about it a little bit,
Right.
and maybe that can spark them to dream for more. And I think that a life without dream is really no life at all.
Yeah,
So,
right. And the great Dr. King, he spoke about a dream, something that's not in the present, but you can see it and you believe that it's obtainable. You also mentioned My People Clinical Services, because there's a discussion in our community, especially in the social services field and the psychology field, that we have a issue, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. We do have an issue as the African American community about clinical services. And so, what is My People Clinical Services?
So like I said before, My People is an agency I started in 2005. We provide a wide range of clinical services, but also I think the bigger thing for us, although we have therapists, they have the master's degrees in social work, our ultimate goal is to have the families, the children, the individuals that come to our agency, we want them to be better off when they leave or stop working with us than they were when they came. So it's not, some people that we deal with, we have to use a clinical approach because of the issue is very, they has to focus on that. But I believe that, a lot of the people, they might be going through something that they just need support.
Right. And that's important because, being in the field, that's what I think a lot of people don't get, because they think their presenting issue is a lifelong challenge.
Right.
And oftentimes, the clinical process moves you from where you're at, which might not be such a good place, into a better space, and then you go on with your life. It's not a lifelong hindrance.
Right.
So I really believe that it's great that as a person of color in a community of people of color, that it makes it real when you see someone that's like you delivering information that's going to help you.
One of the things I think is important to mention for My People is that on November the 9th, we're going to be doing our 3rd annual Female Empowerment Conference.
Okay.
This year we're going to be at Channel 3 Country Camp, so it's a overnight. They're gonna spend the night up there, and there's going to be all type of workshops. This year's theme is "Dreams Are a Girl's Best Friend." So Ice Cream for a Dream will be there.
Okay.
I'll give a speech, but the real focus is having young ladies between the ages of 13 and 18 leave that event empowered, knowing that they're beautiful, knowing that they're smart, knowing that they can do anything they want to do in their lives. And so we're going to have all types of presenters coming up there. It should be a wonderful event. And if you have a daughter that's between the ages of 13 and 18, the cost is $50. Actually, no. If she writes an essay, the cost is $25.
Okay.
But what we're trying to do is we're trying to make the event totally free. So what I would suggest is anybody in the city of Hartford or surrounding areas that watches this, they should go on our website or contact us at mypeople-ct.com or 860-656-0450. Ask for Dayshell Muhammad and get some information about the Female Empowerment Conference, because I think it's going to be an awesome event this year.
All right. Now, you said the 3rd annual.
Third
so
annual.
you've had it before. Do you see the transformation in that when the young ladies? Is it always for young ladies?
It's female empowerment. Yes, it's
Okay.
always for young ladies, and we see it. You can see it immediately. There's videos on our website. You can look at last year's conference, and you can see how the things that they're doing are bringing them up a little bit. And so, we also do a group in certain schools, so they're able to kind of continue on with the stuff they learned from the conference. But I think they should come out to this conference this year.
Yeah, I think so too, Abdul, man. I really believe that what you're doing, again, is helping and is strengthening our community. It's a breath of fresh air. So much of what we hear in the mainstream media is the exact opposite. So it's important that people like yourself are out there really having an effect on people's lives. I believe anyone that reaches a level of success, they could always point back, and you did when we were talking earlier about your dad. So, you know, it's not that we're not capable as a community, it's just that some of us need help, and you're definitely part of that process. So I commend you for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming in.
Hey, anytime.